Guys, I'm Kaveri. Today we're going to learn how to make soap at home right in your kitchen because it's Plastic Free July. It's super fun to make. You can do it with the kids at home this school holidays. You save a ton of plastic packaging throughout July and beyond, and you'll also save money. Alright, so today we're going to make about 500 grams of soap, and I'm going to go through the list of ingredients that we'll need. These are our base ingredients which you will need to make any kind of soap. So the first one is caustic soda or lye. You can buy them at Bunnings or online. They're like a little crystals that you can see here, and this is the one that will initiate the whole saponification process. Now, saponification process sounds fancy, but really it's just saying that you're converting all the fats that you've got, all the oils that you've got here, into soap. So I've got some caustic soda, got some water here, just your tap water is fine. Got some olive oil, vegetable oil, and coconut oil. So they're all measured out in grams and not volumes, so it's important to measure them in grams, and you can see the measurements on your screen here. And today I'm making it a bit fancy, so I've got some activated charcoal here because they're trendy. Got some essential oils, just making it my own. So I've got some peppermint here, and I've got some bergamot essential oil blend. And I'm using some recycled coffee ground just from my morning cup of brew this morning. Once you have all these ingredients ready, we'll put all of these together in a pot here. Just make sure they're not aluminium, and that you're only using this for cooking soap and nothing else. And I've just got a makeshift double boiler here just so that the heat is not directly on the pot itself. All these ingredients go in here and they'll get whisked up with the stick blender. If you don't want to use your stick blender because you can't use this for cooking again, you can use a whisk as well. It will just take a bit longer, and you'll just build some more muscles. And I've got a loaf tin here to shape my soap, just lined up with baking paper. Baking paper. And most importantly, safety. So make sure you're wearing full sleeve clothes. Got some gloves here and safety goggles, just so that the caustic soda doesn't burn your skin. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is make sure you've got gloves on and your safety goggles on. So the first thing we do is dissolve the caustic soda in water. Now you want to do this in a well ventilated area because it does produce fumes. And just make sure that you're putting the caustic soda in water, not the other way around, because that you may get splashes if you put the water in caustic soda. So I'm just going to go ahead and put some caustic soda in water, slowly dissolve it, stirring it slowly. And just dissolve it until you can't see any crystals at the bottom. And as I said, just be careful again, it does produce fumes, so they can be quite strong, and the glass itself can start getting a bit hot, so just be mindful of that. So I'm going to leave that on my kitchen windowsill just to properly dissolve. Again, make sure it is in a ventilated area. So now I've just put all the oils, so I've got coconut oil, olive oil and vegetable oil all in the pot here, and I've started the heating. So I'm just melting all the oils here in medium heat until it's all the oils are completely melted. And this is just a double boiler, a makeshift double boiler that I've just made. It's just got a pot underneath with hot water and just something to hold on top the top pot, and just this pot here. Remember, this pot is the only one that you can't use for cooking, so just make sure it's an old pot. So there might be last pieces of coconut oil that you're chasing around to melt, but we're looking good now, we're all good to go. So now we'll add our dissolved caustic soda and water mix and some activated charcoal to start blitzing. Alright, so now we're about to add the caustic soda to our oil mix. Remember, if you're doing this with kids, it's best to do it yourself because you are dealing with caustic soda and hot liquids. So make sure you still got your gloves on. So just gently add them to your hot mix. Make sure you're not splashing them. Add that through, and then at this point add your activated charcoal as well. Give that a good stir. Remember, this is all while the heat is still going on, just on low heat, so you're not burning the oil. Now that it's nice and well mixed, we're gonna start blitzing. So now we're gonna start blitzing, and you're gonna blitz them in pulses and stir in between those pulses. What you're looking for is a trace at the end of this. So what a trace is all the oils have been neutralized by lye, and the mixture thickens up slightly, to a point where you lift it up, you'll see a little mark left on the surface of the mixture. I'm going to start doing that now. Remember, if you're using a whisk, you can just keep whisking as you Okay, so we started with a pulse blitz. Now we're going full blitzing the mixture while just slowly stirring around. This might take you up to 5 minutes at the most. So keep going. So we've been blitzing this for about 4 minutes now. And you know you've reached trace is when it thickens up, and when you pull it out, it leaves a mark of the blender just on the surface here. So that's when you know you've reached trace. Now you don't blitz it more than this one, because that will make your soap flaky. So that's it. Okay, so now we've reached the trace, so now we're going to cook this mixture. So just got to put a lid on in medium heat, and it can take about 20 minutes or so. A good tip is to use a bigger pot, because the mixture can expand over the cooking process, and just stir it occasionally and make sure you keep an eye on it and see what's happening. Okay, so now you know when it's cooked is when the consistency of this turns into a gel, and you can think of a Vaseline gel-like consistency where it becomes slightly translucent. At this point, you want to add your essential oil. Just drop that in, and your coffee grounds. So see how much you need. You may not need the whole bowl. I think that will do. And then just stir that around. Give it a good stir so it's all mixed properly. Oh, that smells nice. Can you smell that? Okay, so that looks ready. All our coffee grounds are mixed in. Just a tip, don't make sure you're not putting too much essential oil, because that will make your bar a bit soft. So now we'll put them in the mold, and we're good to go. Alright, that's it guys. So I poured the soap in the mold, given it a slight tap to take all the bubbles out. Now we're gonna leave this for at least 24 hours to let it harden, and tomorrow we'll take it out, cut it into bars. And that's it. That's your homemade soap. DIY, plastic-free July.